Hey, hello, I'm JulieJo. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're not new here, welcome back. I do have a ticklish throat today. I have lots of allergies today, so it's super itchy, but I did want to discuss something in this video because I've been thinking about it for over a month since Worre posted this originally, and then I kind of went back and looked and there was a shift that happened, and I have a feeling I know what the shift is. Worre for the longest time had what you might call a clean background, and by that I simply mean he wasn't seen as some angry, mean, awful person like Jesse Lee Ward, right? He wasn't seen as some bitter top leader who, I don't know, hates that we talk about them. But something shifted, and I'll kind of explain my theory and go into it a little bit, and then I want to hear your thoughts. I wanted to start because I saw him post this and I brought it up in a few videos previously. I'll try to remember to link it up here. If not, it might be down below. But this is what you actually want to say to those network marketing haters, and it's like a lot of rude stuff. Now, he did edit the original description or whatever he put. Now it says when they hate on network marketing, but you're too busy stacking those commission checks. However, I don't remember what he said originally. And I was like, wow, okay, so I've never seen something like that from him before. And then I saw this recently and I knew that there was something weird. So it starts off as like a sweet little heart picture, and then it goes to kind of like roll your eyes, and then it goes to straight up flipping you off. And then I made a meme out of that because, you know, why? How could I not? So Eric says, I have three groups of people in my life: those who are locking arms with me to change the world, those who are leaning away from me, and those who are talking shit about me. See if you can tell which picture is for each group. This is big for Eric. These are not normal for him. I think I know what it is. I'm actually going to show you really quick where I saw the shift. So this is a picture of kind of where I saw things change on his timeline. Like, it is visible. That picture of his mom to the 4 things network marketers do. Just this complete shift. Before that, he never really spoke about the haters that much. So this was like 16 to 18 weeks ago. What I can see it line up with is when he got called out for the Omega Pro Ponzi scheme. We're going to go through that today because I heard a little bit about it and I was like, no, we got to talk about this because I think this is one of the biggest reasons that he has shifted his attitude. I think he was caught. I think from that point on, he didn't really have that clean background and he wasn't that like decent guy that people always saw. No, I never thought he was necessarily decent. I just didn't think he was like super shitty of a human being as some of the other people, but I see it now. And I think like the real him's coming out. Let's talk about it.
I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head.
Behind MLM did a great article on this, and I'll link the article below. So this is called Worre Sweeps Millions in Ponzi Fraud Under the Rug. This was done recently. This was done at the end of July. Worre has been in the spotlight of late for recruiting people into Trader's Domain, a $500 million Ponzi scheme. This followed Worre signing on with Omega Pro Corporate and publicly endorsing the Ponzi scheme, which was tied to Trader's Domain. Both Omega Pro and Trader's Domain collapsed in late of 2022. Earlier today, Worre uploaded a video titled Worre Responds to Critics. I was expecting Worre to address his stealing of millions of dollars through the Trader's Domain and receipt of stolen investors' funds through Omega Pro. Instead, I got 9 minutes of excuses, lies, and misdirection. The overarching problem of Worre's response is his refusal to acknowledge Ponzi schemes and securities fraud. Instead, after trotting out a long list of MLM companies, at least 2 of which were MLM Ponzi schemes engaged in securities fraud, Worre misdirects with pyramid scheme rhetoric. Then they go through what he said. So let's watch it and then we'll finish reading the rest. Okay, this is Worre's response to critics.
Hey there, Worre here, and there's been a lot of chatter in the network marketing space in the last year or so. It's certainly true that the profession is going through radical changes, and as professionals, we all need to pivot when necessary. And to that point, I'd like to give you an overview of how I see my role in the network marketing community and my thoughts for how I'm going to be approaching things moving forward.
That's interesting because he's not talking about what he did at all. It seems like he's going to talk about how he's helped MLM and then just say he's going to keep doing that or something. I'm not sure. This is weird.
In my 14 years with Network Marketing Pro, I provided training and or consulting services for companies or their top leaders in the following companies alphabetically. And bear with me, it's not a short list.
Okay, I'm gonna 2 times speed this, so just buckle up, because I'm not about to sit here and listen and read off every company for this long.
Amari Global, Ambit Energy, ASEA, Beachbody, BeHip Global, Body Pro, By Design, Chalk Culture, Chogan, doTERRA, Ecology, Enagic, GanoExcel, Go Global, GS Partners, Healy World, Herbalife, IM Mastery Academy, Isogenics, Jeunesse, Juice Plus, Kiani, Connect, Legal Shield, Lime Life by Alcone, Life Plus, Life Vantage, Lyconet, Manatech, Max International, Modare, Monat Global, Monavi, New You Life, Nikin, New Skin, Omega Pro, Organo, Paparazzi Accessories, PM International, Prove It, Secret Direct, Send Out Cards, The Happy Co, Total Life Changes, Euphoria Science, USANA, Utility Warehouse, UWE, Valentis Global, Vasayo, Vima, Vita Divina, Vox Life, World Global, Young Living, Unique, and Longevity, and I'm sure that I missed some.
Okay, back to normal, I guess.
So let me explain something to you. When I'm deciding to work with a company or its leaders, I judge what I feel is the intent of the players involved. And if I feel that that intent is good, I usually move forward.
But I specifically heard MLMs in there that were found out to be pyramid schemes. So that completely negates what he just said. That's just not true. Why would you say those names then?
One repeating pattern I'm constantly dealing with is some of the distributors in the companies that I train for simply cannot help themselves and try to use my speaking as involvement in the company itself. Some claim
Stop. He is literally saying, I spoke there and they're saying that I was a part of the issue. I cannot wait to read the rest of that. No, it's much more than that. It's much more than that.
I'm a secret distributor. Others claim I have an ownership stake in the company. And even others like to say, see, Eric's a trainer on our stage, so our company must be good. I try to do my best to keep those claims under control, but I definitely can't reach everyone.
But you just said that you look at the company and if their goal is to do good, then that's why you work with them. Why did you just say this then?
See, Eric's a trainer on our stage, so our company must be good.
But you just said that that's why you work with companies, because you think that they're good. Come on, this is wild.
And for the umpteenth time, I don't have a position in any company. I don't have ownership in any company. And I have never specifically endorsed any particular company or asked anyone to get involved with any particular company. And I never will. I try my best to be neutral and support everyone. Now, some critics like to say,
but we're not saying that they were MLMs. We're saying that they're Ponzi schemes straight up. The Trader's Domain and the Omega Pro or whatever, those two in particular. I think Trader's Domain falls under Omega Pro, but we aren't saying that he has a stake in Young Living. No, these companies in particular that you are found to have had some monetary gain from.
well, this company was obviously bad or obviously a pyramid. So you should have known better, and you shouldn't have given it any credibility by being a trainer for them in the first place. Here's my position on that. If I made it a criteria to never speak, train, or consult for a company that was ever accused of being a pyramid, then I never speak at all. Because every single company in our profession has been accused of being a pyramid at some point or another.
Well, I wonder why. Eric. Wait, I want y'all to hear that again because it felt good.
Because every single company in our profession has been accused of being a pyramid at some point or another.
He's like, see, y'all are pyramid schemes too. It's just because I was a part of one. So were y'all. I mean, at least that's what I'm taking from it because that's what I want to take from it. But essentially what he's saying is like, you were also said to be a pyramid scheme. So what? What do you got to say about that? Y'all see what he did there? Eric, wow, you're so manipulative. I haven't seen this side of him, so I mean a little bit, but not like this.
Including yours. It's a cheap and easy accusation from outside critics, but in the end, the good companies make proper adjustments and survive, like many of your companies have.
So you are correct. You do believe that they had to make adjustments and survive. Many, not all, but they have to make adjustments because you're right. They are pyramid schemes.
While others have been eliminated, like several on the list I just went through.
I have not seen this before, so this is like, yes, Eric. Yes. He's confirming everything that I need to know.
A few minutes ago. Now, it's also true that the products and services provided by new and old companies are changing. Some are
I am going to speed this up because I just don't want to hear it anymore.
service-based now, some are technology-based. in addition to the traditional physical products historically offered. And with the new services and technology, there's going to be winners and losers while companies figure things out. Some people like to say, due to my position in the profession, that I should speak out against specific companies that in their opinion aren't legitimate. In fact, when I first discussed the idea of Network Marketing Pro,
why would he do that if he's going to make money from that company? Like, why would he speak out against any of them, even if he doesn't think they're legitimate, if people are going to want to train with him? He's like one of the top trainers in multi-level marketing atmosphere, and honestly scams in general, in my opinion. So why would he speak against a company, even if it's really bad, and he knows it's bad, if he's going to make money from them?
with Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, back in 2008, he suggested that I put anything I didn't like in our profession on full blast to let him have it. I decided not to do that for two main reasons. First, as I said, there's many companies that lived in a gray area for quite some time before making the proper adjustments into legitimacy.
So you agree a lot of them are illegitimate. Like I said, I haven't heard this before, and we only have a couple minutes left of the actual video itself, but I mean, let's listen to that little part one more time.
That lived in a gray area for quite some time before making the proper adjustments into legitimacy.
Wow. Thank you, Eric.
And are now giants in our space. If I put them on blast for any mistake that I saw, I not only hurt the company, but I hurt the field, and I also hurt the company's chances of making the improvements they need for longevity.
And you hurt your wallet. You hurt your wallet because then they won't use you anymore. And then other companies will be afraid that you'll do that to them, therefore not wanting to use you either. I could be wrong. Do you think I'm wrong? What do y'all think? Do you think I have a good point?
Do I suggest this to them? Yes. But do I put them on blast? No. And the second reason I don't put companies on blast is we already deal with so much misunderstanding and negativity in network marketing from outside sources. I wanted, from my heart, to come from a position of encouragement instead of criticism. I decided that in the end, the market will decide who succeeds and who fails. But my role is to support the profession as a whole. And let me tell you about that support, because I'm very proud of it. GoPro has been the #1 book in network marketing for 10 years, with almost 5 million copies sold in 19 languages around the world. The GoPro annual event is the Super Bowl of network marketing and the largest generic training event in our profession. And the most powerful women in network marketing event does the same for the great women in our field. I put out more free network marketing training content than anyone ever has, and will continue to do so because it's what I'm meant to do. Over 5 million people consume the free content that I put out on a weekly basis. And we have big, big plans to grow that number. I have a collection of best-selling courses that have helped people experience breakthroughs in their business, big and small.
I would love to see the statistics based on what he's saying. Like, have you ran like data on it and done things to come up with numbers, or are you just saying stuff? Are you just talking?
I have the most powerful top earner mastermind in our profession, representing companies all over the world. And we work together to raise the bar for everyone in network marketing. And in talking about pure results, okay? Over the last 14 years, I've helped millions of people enjoy a nice part-time income. I've helped well over 10,000 people to create a 6-figure annual income. And I've helped over 500 people get their network marketing income to over $1 million a year.
Okay, so let's listen to that again. Let's do some math, shall we?
And in talking about pure results, okay? Over the last 14 years, I've helped millions of people enjoy a nice part-time income. I've helped well over 10,000 people to create a 6-figure annual income. And I've helped over 500 people get their network marketing income to over $1 million a year.
First, how do you know this? Second, just 10,000? Let's say, so 5 million people have bought your book across the world. So let's say you've had a total of 10 million people across your book, across the stage that you're on, across like virtual stuff. Let's say you've taught 10 million people, and 10,000 of those you've turned into 6 figures. 10,000? My math, which isn't always mathing, okay? That's 0.001% of the people who watch you, read your book, virtual, whatever. Let me get my husband. You know what? He's a math guy.
A few moments later.
0.001%.
My math was right. Thank you. So that means his rate, right, of helping people is 0.001%. Good data.
And I've helped over 500 people get their network marketing income to over $1 million a year.
0.00005%.
Critics will take shots. I get that. People want to
What do you mean?
blame. I get that also. But for those critics on the sidelines, I encourage you to step up and try to outproduce me in terms of the value you bring to our profession. Let's compete.
He's not talking about me. He's talking about other people in MLM that are talking about what he did. Weird. He doesn't like being disliked, I think.
That way, everyone wins. If we focus on taking shots at each other, everyone loses.
So what you're saying is they cannot say, hey, Eric, that's really shitty of you to do. So now he's blaming them. He's like, if you do that, if you call me out for being shitty, which I was, you're going to hurt multi-level marketing. Ooh, Eric's worse than I thought he was.
And finally, if my approach to the companies and the leaders I work with makes a person not want to promote what I do, or maybe distance themselves from me, that's clearly their choice. I think it's a bad choice, but I can still respect it.
I think it's a bad choice, but I can still respect it. I don't think you can still respect it.
As for me, I'm going to continue to do what I've always done, and that's everything in my power to help people around the world with the mindset, skills, and strategy necessary to become a true network marketing professional, to not only be earners in our business, but to be real leaders as well. So for all of my friends in network marketing, get used to seeing this face, because I'm going to be everywhere.
His ability to help people earn money is actually worse than what the business model portrays itself. You're more likely to earn money gambling, obviously, but like even in your MLM training over probably his.
Because honestly, I'm just warming up. And do me a favor, would you? If I've helped you in any way during your journey in network marketing, let me know in the comments, would you please? It would make my heart happy. Let's continue to work together to make network marketing everything that it should be, and helping more people around the world understand the gift that is our profession.
But even with the 3 million is still only 0.3%. So you've helped 0.3% of the people that have trained with you. That's bad. Still, continuing with the Behind MLM article, he says, some critics like to say, well, this company was obviously bad or obviously a pyramid, so you should have known better and you shouldn't have given it any credibility by being a trainer for them in the first place. Here's my position on that. If I made a criteria to never speak, train, or consult for a company that was ever accused of being a pyramid, then I'd never speak at all. Because every single company in our profession has been accused of being a pyramid at some point or another, including yours. It's a cheap and easy accusation from outside critics. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Some people like to say, due to my position in the profession, that I should speak out against specific companies that, in their opinion, aren't legitimate. At 4:44, he says, I decided not to do that for 2 main reasons. First, there's many companies that lived in a gray area for quite some time before making the proper adjustments to legitimacy. The second reason I don't put companies on blast is we already have to deal with so much misunderstanding and negativity in network marketing from outside sources. I wanted from my heart to come from a position of encouragement instead of criticism. I decided that in the end, the market will decide who succeeds and who fails. So we just heard that, but I wanted to read that because that's the portion in particular that the Behind MLM article is talking about. They say, while it is true all of MLM Ponzi schemes are also operated as pyramid schemes, Worre is right in characterizing pyramid scheme due diligence as a gray area. Not with respect to the law, which is clear cut and have been for some time, but with respect to due diligence. Establishing whether an MLM company is a pyramid scheme is a complex recipe of compensation, marketing, products, backgrounds, and financials, which we can see, and we know that, especially if we've been looking into MLMs for a while. The latter, the public doesn't get access to. So we have to work with what's available. With respect to Behind MLM's reviews, for example, unless I see something that definitely defines an MLM company as a pyramid scheme, I'll write in probabilities rather than certainties. Worre's misdirection here lies in his feeling the heat, not for failing to recognize pyramid schemes, but for stealing millions through the trader's domain and receiving stolen investor funds through Omega Pro. See, y'all, that's the main issue, and he didn't even cover that. He stole millions of dollars, apparently, allegedly is what this article's saying. MLM Ponzi schemes and securities fraud go hand in hand. In contrast to pyramid scheme due diligence, establishing securities fraud is very simple. Is the MLM company offering a passive return of any sort? If no, then securities law doesn't apply to them. If yes, then are they registered with financial regulators in the countries they solicit an investment in? Eric Worre is from the US, and securities in the US are regulated by the SEC. Securities fraud has been illegal in the US since 1933, introduction of the Securities and Exchange Act. The SEC has a public Edgar database on which anyone can take 5 seconds to search and verify if an MLM company offering securities is registered. If they aren't, they're committing securities fraud, and there's a 99.9% chance you're looking at a Ponzi scheme. Bare minimum due diligence is what Eric Worre, through unashamed negligence, failed to perform on the trader's domain in Omega GoPro. So what due diligence does Worre perform before deciding to accept money from an MLM company? Now referring back to Eric's video at 1 minute and 51 seconds, when I'm deciding to work with a company or its leaders, I just want to feel the intent of the players involved. And if I feel that intent is good, I usually move forward. This excuse falls flat. When it comes to Ponzi schemes, like the Trader's Domain and Omega Pro, the only intent of a Ponzi scheme is to steal money. 3 minutes and 46 seconds of Eric's video. In the end, the good companies make proper adjustments and survive, like many of the companies have. Continuing with the article, again, we have pyramid misdirection. MLM Ponzi schemes cannot unponzi themselves into legitimacy, both from a regulatory and operational perspective. Investment fraud is the business model. There's no proper adjustments to be made. And as for the market deciding whether a Ponzi scheme succeeds or fails, this is more misdirection. Simple math guarantees that every Ponzi scheme will fail, period. Anyone with half a brain will realize a search of the SEC's Edgar database isn't beyond Eric Worre. The reason he didn't perform any due diligence on the Trader's Domain and Omega Pro is because he saw dollar signs. I agree completely. I mean, I agree with all of this. I think it's very well done, but I absolutely agree. It was for the money. Specifically, Eric Worre's involvement in Omega Pro and his recruitment of friends and associates into the Trader's Domain saw him walk away with over $21 million plus ultimately stolen from victims Worre refuses to acknowledge. Moving on, here's one lie I found particularly offensive. At 2 minutes and 40 seconds of his video, he says, and for the umpteenth time, I don't have any position in any company. I don't have ownership in any company, and I have never specifically endorsed any particular company. What they show next is Eric Worre giving 2 thumbs up to financial fraud. And he continues, or asked anyone to get involved in any particular company and never will. I can't speak to positions or ownership, but I can categorically confirm Worre endorsed Omega Pro and asked people to get involved in the Trader's Domain. Worre's engagement with Omega Pro wasn't a fly-in, speak, fly-out regular gig. He joined Omega Pro corporate as the company's official strategic coach. Here's actually a picture of him on the Omega Pro YouTube. From the video, Omega Pro appoints Eric Worre as official strategic coach because, I mean, he was legitimately had some position in this company from what this shows us. That's an endorsement, Eric. You endorsed Omega Pro by giving it the thumbs up. You endorsed Omega Pro by signing on as an executive. While we don't know how many people were recruited into the Trader's Domain, we know a good chunk of the 21 million plus he stole through the Ponzi is linked to recruitment. Otherwise, numbers don't add up. For reference, while the Trader's Domain wasn't an MLM Ponzi scheme, it still paid a direct referral commission. All of the Trader's Domain net winners were recruits, and Worre came in 7th with his 14.6 million. Eric's wife, Marina Worre, came in 12th with 6.8 million. Of the public top, the Trader's Domain net winners, several have no connection to the Ponzi scheme other than Eric Worre and GoPro. If he ran through the top 100 in the Trader's Domain, is Worre seriously contending not one person will claim he was the one who introduced them? Please. Another theme towards the end of Worre's response is the idea that his past can wash away stealing and receiving millions through 2 Ponzi schemes. So at 5 minutes and 46 seconds of the video, which we just saw, he says this: my role is to support the profession as a whole. And let me tell you about that support because I'm very proud of it. GoPro's been the #1 book in network marketing for 10 years with almost 5 million copies sold in 19 languages around the world. The GoPro annual event is the Super Bowl of network marketing and the largest generic training event in our profession. And the most powerful women in network marketing event does the same for the great women in our field. I put out more free network marketing training content than anyone ever has, and I will continue to do so because it's what I'm meant to do. Over 5 million people consume the free content that I put out on a weekly basis, and we have big plans to grow that number. I have a collection of best-selling courses that have helped people experience breakthroughs in their business, big and small. I have the most powerful top earner mastermind in our profession. By the way, that's like $25,000 a year. Isn't that wild? He makes them pay $25,000 a year, representing companies all over the world, and we work together to raise the bar for everyone in network marketing and in talking about pure results. Okay? Over the last 14 years, I've helped millions of people enjoy a nice part-time income. I've helped well over 10,000 people create 6-figure annual income. Well, we know that. I'm certainly not here to diminish or trivialize Worre's accomplishments. Good for him. And I genuinely mean that. If I may quote Woody Harrelson's character Vince Boudreau and play it to the bone though. If a man builds 1,000 bridges and sucks one dick, they don't call him a bridge builder. They call him a cocksucker. Right now, Eric Worre isn't the great MLM coach and trainer he's worked on being over the past 14 years. That in particular right there is why I think he's shifted so much in this past year. The Omega Pro and all that happened at the end of 2020. And I think that he's lost that shiny, good guy type of persona that he's always tried to carry. In the article, they continue, he's a scumbag who, over the course of a few months, stole 20 million plus through one Ponzi scheme and received who knows how much from another. I'm not going to suck my own dick for as long as Eric Worre did today, but regardless of how you feel about behind MLM, I think we can all agree I've done my bit for consumer awareness over the years. If over the next 6 months I abandon my moral compass and begin recruiting people into Ponzi schemes I routinely warn consumers about, that too would be my legacy. I wouldn't be Oz, the guy who spent the last 15 years going head to head against the worst of the MLM industry day in and day out. I'd be Oz, the guy who ran behind MLM and wound up stealing a bunch of money from a bunch of people. And like for Worre, there'd be no undoing that. Okay, back to Worre's video set at 7:15. Critics will take shots, I get that. People want to blame, I get that also. But for those critics on the sidelines, I encourage you to step up and try to outproduce me in terms of the value you bring to our profession. Let's compete to see who can bring the most value. That way everybody wins. Well, except your victims. Their losses remain very real and unaccounted for. Safe to say I could have done nothing over the past 15 years, and I'd still be ahead versus the 21 million plus in consumer losses attributable to Worre through the trader's domain and Omega Pro. I'm not interested in Worre's pissing contest. It's not constructive and it doesn't address the issue. So how do we address the issue of Worre being a prominent figure in the MLM industry, weighed down with 21 million plus in ill-gotten gains? From a legal perspective, Worre has opened himself up to securities fraud charges from the SEC. Both Omega Pro and the trader's domain use trading ruses to hide their respective Ponzi's behind. So to a lesser extent, the CFTC might get involved on commodities fraud charges. The DOJ may or may not sandwich criminal wire and securities fraud charges in as well. The 21 million plus amount certainly warrants it, as does Worre's continued arrogance and failure to show any remorse for the victims who may be misappropriated. But that's out of our hands. Worre's never going to wash away the stench of fraud he's cloaked himself in. He's too well regarded and it's just too much. For now, and pending federal charges if they're coming, the best thing Worre can do is drop the act and just be honest. How much Worre stole through the trader's domain is public knowledge. How much he received from Omega Pro isn't public, but it's likely substantial. Who Worre recruited into the trader's domain isn't 100% clear, but it's obvious he was funneling people into it. Be honest and take accountability. As I previously stated, we're well past concerns about self-incrimination. There's nothing Worre could disclose that the SEC and DOJ can't ascertain or don't already have access to. If they're going to file, they're going to file. The train left the station months ago. This is about doing something wrong, owning up to it once caught, and on a very public stage, responding in an appropriate manner as you can given the circumstances. There's no redemption arc and it's not going to be pretty. The best you can aim for is forgiveness over time, but that journey starts with acknowledgement. That acknowledgement has to come from Worre himself and it has to be brutally honest. The hiding behind your accomplishments, calling out the critics, and refusing to publicly acknowledge the trader's domain and Omega Pro as Ponzi schemes you profited from is just digging a deeper hole. These are very serious acts you've committed, Eric. How about we try taking them seriously? Wow. Eric is screwed, to say the least, and I hope I see charges soon. I mean, it makes sense. Like, he definitely broke the law, and it's very clear what went down, at least for the trader's domain aspect of it, because it's public knowledge. What do y'all think? What do you think about the situation? Do you think they're actually going to press charges? Do you think he's going to get in big trouble? I hope so. I think that, especially after seeing that video, knowing he stole $21 million from people, in my opinion, there's no remorse. He doesn't care. He does not care that he did that. Hopefully the DOJ, the SEC, FTC, all of the above, take it very seriously because $21 million is a lot of money. So thank you for being here. I want to hear your thoughts on it. I want to know what you think will happen. Go ahead and subscribe if you'd like. You can hit the bell button if you want to get notified when I post, and hit the like button if you did enjoy this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Good luck, Eric. Bye.
You and him, I don't care about what has been. I only care about yours.